Hi guys, what's up? I have a beautiful story for you that is going to be brought to you by Ben Shapiro. If you like the content and my reaction, hey man, like the video, share, hey, do the everything, subscribe, bada beam boom, Facebook, everything, Rumble, whoo!
So there's a heartbreaking article from a person named Corinna Cohn, a software developer in Indianapolis, who is an officer in the Gender Care Consumer Advocacy Network. And it's titled, What I Wish I'd Known When I Was 19 and Had Sex Reassignment Surgery. Quote, when I was 19, I had surgery for sex reassignment, or what is now called gender affirmation surgery. A callow young man who was obsessed with transitioning to womanhood could not have imagined reaching middle age. But now I'm closer to 50, keeping a watchful eye on my 401k and dieting and exercising in the hope I'll have a healthy retirement. In terms of my priorities and interests today, that younger incarnation of myself might as well have been a different person. Yet that was the person who committed me to a lifetime set apart from my peers. There's much debate today about transgender treatment, especially for young people. Others might feel differently about their choices, but I know now I wasn't old enough to make that decision. Given the strong cultural forces today casting a benign light on these matters, I thought it might be helpful for young people and their parents to hear what I wish I had known. I once believed I would be more successful finding love as a woman than as a man, but in truth, few straight men are interested in having a physical relationship with a person who is born the same sex as they were.
Many people that identify as trans with time, it's not that they really are trans, but it's just that they're on a mission to be loved, which I respect. You would do anything. I've been there. I've been in a situation that I changed stuff about myself to get the attention of a woman. You know, you'll do anything. But everything that I did was related to fitness, being funny, changing my hair color, changing my afro, make it more least so I look more like a white man. I was insecure about my color sometimes. I did everything. And that is the problem that I see that a lot of people that are trans and they decided, hey man, this is not working out for me. The reason it happened is they were looking for love, and for some odd reason, somebody convinced them you would be happier trying to get a man by being a woman. Or you are quite feminine already, so why don't you become a woman? The fact that he or she, whatever they try to identify, is saying, I was not ready at 19 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, it happens way more. And surprisingly, way more don't even feel comfortable coming out and say this, because if they do, the community doesn't accept it.
In high school, when I experienced crushes on my male classmates, I believed the only way those feelings could be requited was if I altered my body. It turned out several of my crushes were gay. If I'd confessed my interest, what might have happened?
Yeah.
As a teenager, I was repelled by the thought of having biological children, but in my vision of the adult future, I imagined marrying a man and adopting a child. It was easy to sacrifice my ability to reproduce in pursuit of fulfilling my dream. Years later, I was surprised by the pangs I felt as my friends and younger sisters started families of their own. The sacrifices I made seemed irrelevant to the teenager I was. Someone with gender dysphoria, yes, but also anxiety and depression. The most severe cause of dread came from my own body. I was not prepared for puberty, nor for the strong sexual drive typical for my age and sex. Surgery unshackled me from my body's urges, but the destruction of my gonads introduced a different type of bondage. From the day of my surgery, I became a medical patient and will remain one for the rest of my life. I must choose between the risks of taking exogenous estrogen, which include venous thromboembolism and stroke, or the risks of taking nothing.
That is the problem. Nobody is talking about this. Whatever your body doesn't accept, you will go through it because you finally have become what you wanted to be. Hey people, it's not a superhero movie that you're building and you're watching and hoping it goes correctly. Even if it doesn't go through, the only thing you do is blame other people. You can't blame other people. Most people that are heroes, they don't have time to care about what people think about themselves. They're already in a vulnerable situation as if they will never find somebody that will love them back. That's the big problem. The fact that you would try to change something on your body so permanently to get love, that means you need some therapy for your dysphoria or whatever, because you're trying to find love because you believe without love you won't be happy. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not denying your feeling. But I know way more people without a partner, but with a family environment that they feel accepted, that they're still happy even if they're single. Many people in my own family never find a partner. They have been single for a very long time. We still treat them in a happy way. They are not funky 24/7. They don't run to find people. They just want to have a chill vibe spiritually, as long as they have a family. You know, that's it. Stability. That is what people need to teach trans people, how they can find stability in the life. Nobody is teaching them that. It's all about find somebody that loves you so you can be stable. Man, relationship is never stable. You know how hard I have to work with my wife to keep it stable? It's not easy. But the thing that I have to do to keep my relationship stable, it's not at a level that LGBTQ promotes. It's all about it's my body, my choice. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, party, yeah. Show all the heteros. Look, man, once you're happy with your partner, you disappear from internet. You don't promote stuff. You focus on building something. You don't care about that. Happy people are very private. But in my experience, most people from the LGBTQ are always on Twitter looking for a trigger.
Which includes degeneration of bone health. In either case, my risk of dementia is higher, a side effect of eschewing testosterone. What was I seeking for my sacrifice? A feeling of wholeness and perfection. I was still a virgin when I went in for surgery.
What the heck? How can that be possible? And I totally forgot about that point. Once you do these surgeries, you get my point. You're a patient forever. Nothing is perfect. If you stop taking the thing, there might be trouble. If you take it too much, there might be trouble. The fact that you do that, it means that the longer you live with such a unique disease, the more depression, dementia. Hey, people, I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? There are people that are so happy, single, without a partner, as long as they have the proper friends and family around them. The fact that you focus it on, if you don't find love, you will be alone and you will be miserable. Yes, I can get where you're coming from. But there are way more people that realize life is not about the funky. It's about the community, the family things. Yeah, if you don't have the family stuff, well, maybe we need to promote that. Because the most people that promote that are heterosexuals. Whose fault is that? LGBTQ isn't promoting the family. No. Because a family is still a family when you disagree. You don't have that in LGBTQ because you cancel everybody that doesn't agree with you.
This made my choice more serious and authentic. I chose an irreversible change before I'd even begun to understand my sexuality. The surgeon deemed my operation a good outcome, but intercourse never became pleasurable. When I tell friends, they're saddened by the loss, but it's abstract to me. I cannot grieve the absence of a thing I've never had.
What? Did you hear that? So he's saying, my sex life is bad, but I'm not allowed to grieve something that I've never had. That's what the LGBTQ is telling him. That's like when you listen to an advice of somebody that you care about as a friend, and then you do it, and it was wrong, and you were a little critical, or you feel bad about the decision that you made, and their response is, well, you listened, you didn't have to do it, and I'm like, wait, what? You put me in that position, because if I didn't listen, you look at me like, oh, so you think you're better than me.
Were my parents in all this? They were aware of what I was doing, but by that point, I had pushed them out of my life. I didn't need parents questioning me or establishing realistic expectations, especially when I found all I needed online. Does this sound like maybe this is what we're talking about here?
Well,
I shudder to think of how distorting today's social media is for confused teenagers. I'm also alarmed by how readily authority figures facilitate transition. I had to persuade 2 therapists, an endocrinologist, and a surgeon to give me what I wanted. None of them were under the crushing professional pressure as they would now be to quote-unquote affirm my choice. I may well have transitioned after waiting a few years. If I hadn't transitioned, I likely would have suffered from the world in other ways. In other words, I'm still working out how much regret to feel, but I'm comfortable with the ambiguity. What advice would I pass on to young people? Learning to fit in your body is a common struggle. Fad diets, body-shaping clothing, cosmetic surgery are all signs that countless millions of people, at some point, have a hard time accepting their own reflection. The prospect of sex can be intimidating, but sex is essential in healthy relationships. Give it a chance before permanently altering your body. Most of all, slow down.
I don't get how you could go that far, as if you just denied a role, you denied your feeling, and somebody convinced you without even having sex with a man. You said, you know what, let me just cut it off and let me have it as a woman, uncomfortable with medical stuff put in my body. I feel so bad for these people, and I'm just calling it out. I want you to enjoy your life, But the fact that this is happening, it's so stupid. And they're using this on kids now. And now Biden just passed something stupid. Look, Biden admin pushes for medical gender transition of minors despite lack of support amongst American poll. A recent poll revealed that 44% of Americans either somewhat oppose or strongly oppose the use of puberty blocking drugs on children. Look, man, how can you do something like this? You have these teachers teaching kids without your permission, and you are making it normal for them to transition and take these drugs. Are you freaking kidding me? You're going to be a country with so many kids committing flick, and you're going to blame it on everybody else? When the whole left-wing media, the only thing they talk about is you're a transphobe, you're a transphobe, you're a transphobe, you're a transphobe, you're a transphobe. You're creating that bubble that people are going to reject because you're calling everybody a transphobe. Of course they're going to hate you. They're not even fighting you, but they're already in a war with you. You know? You're the reason most trans people cannot have a long life because you're putting them in a position they're not even ready to make that decision. That's all I wanted to say. Let me know your opinion, comments, bada bim bam boom, and see you guys next time. Peace. Don't get me wrong,